We owe these ladies so much. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movie heroines of the 1980s.
I'm contaminated. I'm dying.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're taking a look at the women who showed the most agency in their various films, and were truly heroes in their own stories, not mere plot devices or love interests. The characters here are all from 80s films, but it doesn't have to be the heroine's first appearance in a franchise. Furthermore, only live-action heroines will be seen here.
I knew it!
Number 10. Wendy Torrance, The Shining. Wendy Torrance is a much overlooked and realistic heroine who deserves her due.
Oh, come on, hon. Don't be so grouchy.
I'm not being grouchy.
Her screams might be famous, but it was her level-headedness that saved her and her son. Also, before Jack Torrance decided that all work and no play was the recipe for a murderous rampage, Wendy was the only one actually doing the work he was assigned to do, taking care of the hotel, and the only one looking after their son.
Danny, what happened to your neck? Danny, what happened to your neck?
Yes, she freaks out when her husband chases her with an axe, and ghosts begin to manifest all around her. But who wouldn't? Despite her terror, she saves herself and Danny. Hero in our books. Number 9. Dian Fossey, Gorillas in the Mist.
Now those cases contain my hairdryer, my makeup, my underwear, and my brassieres. If they don't go, Dr. Leakey, I don't go.
Based on the real life and death events of gorilla researcher, primatologist, and conservationist Dian Fossey, Dian is committed to protecting the gorillas she studies. Smart and resourceful, she won't be stopped even as poachers begin to close in on her and the great apes.
Stay low. No pointing or waving, that frightens them. And not too much direct eye contact or the silverback may charge. If he does charge, stand your ground.
Organizing a defense league to protect the animals to which she has developed a real emotional bond, her methods are often controversial and not without consequence.
You think I'm sick? Am I a murderer? Did I do this? This won't stop until those butchers are stopped!
However, despite the increased peril, that would sadly also lead to her untimely downfall, she remained committed to her cause. Number 8. Beth Horman, Missing. Based on the real-life Joyce Horman, the character of Beth is in Chile following her husband's kidnapping during the 1973 Chilean coup d'etat.
My husband? Mi esposa, did you see my husband?
Meeting resistance at every turn, she is determined to discover the whereabouts of, or at least what happened to, her journalist husband.
So you see, Mr. Horman, the hiding theory seems to be the most viable, at least for the present.
That's dumb. If he were in hiding, he'd call me and let me know he was all right.
Between the lies of politicians and the national upheaval, Beth and her father-in-law must work together to find the truth. A social organizer and activist, she is passionate in her beliefs and about the people she loves. Energetic and feisty, she fights the good fight till the bitter end. Number 7. Zula, Conan the Destroyer. Played by the incomparable Grace Jones, Zula is a mighty bandit warrior. After Conan intervenes in her torment at the hands of angry villagers, she joins his team and assists them in their adventure.
I swear that if Conan will let me ride with him, I will give my life for him.
Battling foes elbow to elbow with none other than the Governator himself, she is right at home behind a spear or sword. Her bravery is later rewarded when she becomes the new captain of the guard to a newly crowned Queen Jenna.
I need a captain of the guards. I see no reason why a woman wouldn't do as well as a man.
Zula is the living, breathing embodiment of, I got this, and exactly the sort of lady you'd want to have your back in a fight. Number 6. Nancy Thompson, A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not easy being a teenager, and it's even worse when you and your friends are being picked off one by a supernatural killer. The impulse to hide under the covers won't help. Not when you know that the next time you fall asleep, you could be next. Rather than break down in an insomniac and nervous wreck, Nancy takes action. First figuring out who the killer is, she later takes steps to drag the frightening Freddy Krueger back into the real world so she can finish him off for good.
I'm gonna shoot you yourself, you bastard!
Brave and resourceful, she could teach Kevin McAllister a thing or two about booby-trapping a house.
I take back every bit of energy I gave you. You're nothing.
Number 5. Tess McGill, Working Girl. Hardworking but frequently taken advantage of, Tess learns not to be too trusting with a good idea. After learning that her new boss has plans to take Tess's ideas and pass them off as her own, she finally decides to take her career into her own hands.
I figured that we look for a radio network, one with a real high profile. And with surplus cash, we implement a major stock repurchase.
While her boldness frequently gets her into trouble, her charm and quick thinking are apt to get her out again. She's the sort of gal you root for the whole way through, and she makes you believe that hard work and perseverance really do pay off.
I don't expect you to fetch me coffee unless you're getting some for yourself. And, the rest we'll just make up as we go along.
Number 4. Marion Ravenwood, Raiders of the Lost Ark. This character's backstory could, actually perhaps should, be a movie all its own. Daughter of Dr. Abner Ravenwood, Indiana's mentor and former professor, she is the owner of a tavern in the snowy mountains of Nepal. Able to drink grown men under the table, she has a few choice words about their earlier fling when she's reunited with Indiana Jones.
I learned to hate you in the last 10 years.
I never meant to hurt you.
I was a child. I was in love. It was wrong and you knew it.
Despite their tempestuous past, she insists on joining him on his adventure, where her nose for trouble leads the two of them in and out of danger. Even when she's abducted, she applies her own wily methods of escape, proving she can handle problems like she handles alcohol, with gusto.
Well, I have to be going now, Renee. I like you, Renee, very much.
Number 3. Sarah Connor, the Terminator. While not yet the hard-as-nails warrior she will become on Judgment Day, the younger, more naive Sarah is certainly up for the challenge. Honestly, when told an insane story that she will be the mother of a future resistance leader in a battle against cyborgs, she takes the news really well, especially considering it's in mid-flight from one of the very robots her son will fight. Oh, chronological paradoxes.
I'd die for John Connor.
At least now I know what to name him.
Frightened and running for her life, she draws on reserves of strength she never knew she had. We see how she could stir a rebellion. We already feel inspired.
You're terminated.
Number 2. Ellen Ripley, Aliens. After surviving the attack that wiped out her crew on the Nostromo, Ripley joins a team of Marines to investigate the disappearance of the colonists on exomoon LV-426, the very planet upon which her ship set down and picked up their alien passenger. Fearing that the colonists might have disturbed the very nest her crew encountered, she offers her expertise as a consultant.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call.
Right.
These people are dead, Burke! Don't you have any idea what you've done here?
Well, I'm gonna make sure that they nail you right to the wall for this. You're not gonna sleaze your way out of this one.
As you can imagine, things go horribly wrong. Cool-headed, resilient, unbelievably brave, and the very definition of a leader, Ripley has become an icon of female badassery. Not because she ever wanted to be a hero, but because she had to. She serves as a heroine standard against which all others are judged to this day.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Excuse me?
Oh, excuse me. Oh, it's you.
Excuse me, but I have to get through this labyrinth. Can you help me?
Ooh.
Listen, I appreciate this, but see, we don't have any money.
I'm stuck babysitting for these kids, and I'm not supposed to be taking them into the city like this. I'm just not.
Number 1. Princess Leia. Star Wars Episode 5 The Empire Strikes Back, and Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi. Whoever said princesses were helpless? Don't let her large innocent eyes fool you. This lady has got Skywalker blood, and she won't let anyone get in her way.
Hey, your worship, I'm only trying to help.
Would you please stop calling me that?
Sure, Leia.
Ready to take charge at a moment's notice and strangle the life out of anyone who tries to hold her down. She is the leader the rebellion deserves. A literal force for good. Even with all the heartache and hardship she's faced in her young life, the dark side can't touch her. Whether it's keeping the computers running, taking off after stormtroopers, saving the man she loves, or leading an army of rebels, cracking skulls and winning hearts are all in a day's work for Leia Organa.
I promise I won't hurt you. Now come here. All right. You want something to eat?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.